I got a fabulous question for you, Hanshi, and it's about leadership. Now, in this day and age, especially what we're seeing through television abroad, we see leaders, and leaders may not necessarily be influential in a good way to their people. My question is, what should leadership be, and how should they represent their people?
Okay, that's a great question. So let us try and define what is leadership. Leadership means somebody in front of the pack that's leading the pack, guiding the pack, right? So if a leader is incorrect, like for instance, let us take wolves for instance, and the leading wolf is running in a direction that's going to go down a cliff, that means the entire flock of wolves will be dead. So leadership is about guiding and directing safety, guiding and directing control, having discipline. So some countries' leaderships are very strong, very powerful. For instance, in Singapore, if anybody goes against the law, they will punish those that have done wrong. Now, that is strong leadership where there is control over the society so it doesn't bring down the demise of the country. It is essential that every leader has to be dharmic, which means guide for good, lead for good, lead for righteousness. And if righteousness means punishing those people that are incorrect in their ways, I say bring it on. So the rule of law has to be maintained. We need strong leadership in the world today. Many leaders are too softy, which means they are wrecking their societies by laws and rules that lead their communities to chaos and pain and suffering. Every good country with strong leadership, they will prosper because there's control. So taking that example again, we look at Singapore, a little country where it is very prosperous. Why is it so prosperous? It's because the leadership is powerful. The leadership is strong, right? Now, in the rest of the world, as you look around, some of the leaders are destroying their countries. Let's give a poor example of a leadership. You look at the ANC government in South Africa, for instance. The leadership is very weak. Most of them, I'm not saying the entire caucus of the ANC government, but most of them are corrupt. Most of them are doing inhumane things to their own community where they're causing pain and suffering for the people of their own country. When corruption starts in the top, it works itself down to the lower populace. With the result, everybody thinks if the government is doing it, why can't we do it? So we need to relook at leaders throughout the world, including Australia, where we come from. Leadership has to be strong. You can't be a weak leader. If you're a weak leader, the country is going to fall. We have to be strong in some ways. We need to punish where we have to, and we have to promote goodness where we must. So leadership is vital. We don't want to go over the cliff. We want somebody that's going to lead us to a better life than to bring on our demise. So in Sanskrit, there's a word called dharma. Dharma is goodness. Dharma is where leaders are working towards righteousness. So Dharma is also used in situations where Krishna on the battlefield of the Mahabharata, he got rid of those people that were evil without hesitation. He told Arjuna, get out your arrows and destroy the enemy. Although the enemy was there, was his relatives, Krishna told him, they're already dead. Do your job, get rid of them. So that's a strong leader. You can be good, doing everything good, that nobody is harmed. At the same time, some things are necessary to have control. That's what leadership is all about. In my karate classes, for instance, I run a class of a number of kids. I am very strict with those children. If they do something wrong, they are punished. They are punished. Down push-ups or squats or whatever, it's an exercise. They do it because they now know that it's incorrect to misbehave in the class. So in my classes, there's no talking at the kids. They all follow the rules. The classes are no talking, no chitter-chatter, just do your karate, do your practice. Ask a question, no gossip amongst the students. So this is what is needed. These kids have to be taught discipline. We need to be proper leaders, have control over the environment we're working with. So in my karate classes, I teach human values. I teach ethical behavior. I teach character development. But if the kids don't follow the rules, I'm very happy to punish them. And you know what it is? I get the support of the parents. The parents love it. They say my children are better behaved now than they ever were. My kids at karate are exemplary in their school. They are top high school students. They are top primary school students because the rules of karate that I have has impacted their lives and they take it out to society. Now those kids, those children are going to be an asset to the community. They're not going to be a liability. They're going to be an asset, which means the country will grow. The future generation, the children, are the future leaders. If they start with discipline and they start with human values, then this society in the future is going to be a better society. But I never hesitate to punish them. And the parents have given me approval. They said to me, do what you have to, make sure my child becomes a good child. And that's what leadership is all about.